Have you ever thought, why I can't create unique ideas? Why can't I think? Are successful people like me? Here's the good news. How successful people think can be learned. If you change your thinking, you can change your life. In this video, I will teach you skills from a book, How Successful People Think, by the author, speaker, and pastor John C. Maxwell, and I promise you a very great benefit. Welcome to Read Channel, a channel that will help you learn skills from authors and international personalities to step towards success and wealth in your life. If you are interested, honor me by subscribing. Let's start. Good thinkers are always in demand. A person who knows how may always have a job, but the person who knows why will always be his boss. Good thinkers solve problems. They never lack ideas that can build an organization, and they always have hope for a better future. Good thinkers rarely find themselves at the mercy of ruthless people who would take advantage of them or try to deceive them. People like Nazi dictator Adolf Hitler, who once boasted, "What luck for rulers that men do not think." Individuals who cultivate their ability to think critically and logically are able to govern themselves, even in challenging situations such as living under an oppressive regime. It is through this process of good thinking that one can achieve success. Through years of studying successful individuals, it is clear that despite their diverse backgrounds, they all share one common trait: their way of thinking. This is the key distinguishing factor between those who are successful and those who are not. The good news is that the thought process of successful people can be learned and replicated. By shifting one's own way of thinking, it is possible to bring about positive change in one's life. First, why you should change your thinking. It's hard to overstate the value of changing your thinking. Good thinking can do many things for you: generate revenue, solve problems, and create opportunities. It can take you to a whole new level, personally and professionally. It really can change your life. Consider some things you need to know about changing your thinking. 1. Changed thinking is not automatic. Changed thinking is not automatic means that changing the way we think and our thought patterns require intentional effort. It doesn't happen spontaneously. It is not a switch that you can turn on and off. It is a process that requires discipline, practice, and patience. To change our way of thinking, we need to be aware of our current thought patterns and actively work to change them. This might involve learning new ways of thinking and actively applying them in our daily life. Changing our way of thinking can be challenging, but with time and dedication, it can lead to self-improvement and personal growth. Sadly, a change in thinking doesn't happen on its own. Good ideas rarely go out and find someone. If you want to find a good idea, you must search for it. If you want to become a better thinker, you need to work at it. And once you begin to become a better thinker, the good ideas keep coming. In fact, the amount of good thinking you can do at any time depends primarily on the amount of good thinking you are already doing. 2. Changed thinking is difficult. When you hear someone say, "Now this is just off the top of my head," expect dandruff. The only people who believe thinking is easy are those who don't habitually engage in it. Nobel Prize-winning physicist Albert Einstein, one of the best thinkers who ever lived, asserted, "Thinking is hard work. That's why so few do it. Because thinking is so difficult, you want to use anything you can to help you improve the process." Changing the way we think can be challenging. Our thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes have developed over time, and they have become ingrained habits. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to challenge our existing beliefs and to consider new ways of thinking. Changing the way we think requires a certain degree of self-awareness and self-reflection to identify the thought patterns and mindsets that hold us back. It may also require the acquisition of new knowledge and the ability to think critically and creatively. The process of changing the way we think can be difficult, but the rewards of doing so are significant. With a more open, flexible, and resilient way of thinking, we can make better decisions, solve problems more effectively, and lead happier and more fulfilling lives. 3. Changed thinking is worth the investment. Means that making the effort to change the way we think can lead to significant benefits. The time and energy invested in changing one's thinking can lead to an improved ability to make decisions, solve problems, and lead a more fulfilling life. A person with more open, flexible, and resilient way of thinking can better adapt to changes, be more creative, and open to new opportunities, and be less affected by stress and negative emotions. Additionally, improved thinking can help you to better understand yourself and others, and it can help you to achieve your goals. While the process of changing one's way of thinking may be difficult and require effort, the benefits of doing so make it a worthwhile investment. Author Napoleon Hill observed, "More gold has been mined from the thoughts of man than has ever been taken from the earth." When you take the time to learn how to change your thinking and become a better thinker, you are investing in yourself. Gold mines tap out, stock markets crash, real estate investments can go sour, but a human mind with the ability to think well is like a diamond mine that never runs out. It's priceless. How to become a better thinker. Do you want to master the process of good thinking? Do you want to be a better thinker tomorrow than you are today? Then you need to engage in an ongoing process that improves your thinking. I recommend you do the following. 1. Expose yourself to good input. Good thinkers always prime the pump of ideas. They always look for things to get the thinking process started, because what you put in always impacts what comes out. Read books, review trade magazines, listen to tapes, and spend time with good thinkers. And when something intrigues you, whether it's someone else's idea or the seed of an idea that you've come up with yourself, keep it in front of you. Put it in writing and keep it somewhere in your favorite thinking place to stimulate your thinking. 2. Expose yourself to good thinkers. Spend time with the right people. As I worked on this section and bounced my ideas off of some key people so that my thoughts would be stretched, I realized something about myself. All of the people in my life whom I consider to be close friends or colleagues are thinkers. Now, I love all people. I try to be kind to everyone I meet, and I desire to add value to as many people as I can through conferences, books, audio lessons, etc. But the people I seek out and choose to spend time with all challenge me with their thinking and their actions. They are constantly trying to grow and learn. That's true of my wife, Margaret, my close friends, and the executives who run my companies. Every one of them is a good thinker. The writer of Proverbs observed that sharp people sharpen one another just as iron sharpens iron. If you want to be a sharp thinker, be around sharp people. 3. Choose to think good thoughts. To become a good thinker, you must become intentional about the thinking process. Regularly put yourself in the right place to think, shape, stretch, and land your thoughts. Make it a priority. Remember, thinking is a discipline. Recently, I had breakfast with Dan Cathy, the president of Chick-fil-A, a fast food chain headquartered in the Atlanta area. I told him that I was working on this book, and I asked him if he made thinking time a high priority. Not only did he say yes, but he told me about what he calls his thinking schedule. It helps him to fight the hectic pace of life that discourages intentional thinking. Dan says he sets aside time just to think for half a day every 2 weeks, for 1 whole day every month, and for 2 or 3 full days every year. Dan explains, "This helps me keep the main thing since I am so easily distracted." You may want to do something similar, or you can develop a schedule and method of your own. No matter what you choose to do, go to your thinking place, take paper and pen, and make sure you capture your ideas in writing. 4. Act on your good thoughts is an encouragement to take action on the positive ideas, plans, and goals that you have in your mind. Often, it is easy to think of things that you would like to do, but it can be hard to turn those thoughts into actions. This phrase is a reminder that it is important to not just think about the things you want to achieve, but to actually take steps towards achieving them. Acting on good thoughts means taking the initiative, making a plan, and taking the first step towards achieving your goals. It requires determination and perseverance to overcome obstacles and keep moving forward. It also requires consistency with small steps and small victories that can help us to build momentum and stay motivated. Without taking action on your good thoughts, they will likely remain just that, thoughts, and that's why it's important to act on them. Ideas have a short shelf life. You must act on them before the expiration date. World War I flying ace Eddie Rickenbacker said it all when he remarked, "I can give you a 6-word formula for success. Think things through, then follow through." 5. Allow your emotions to create another good thought. The process of thinking cannot be solely based on emotions. As stated in Failing Forward, it's more effective to take action first and allow the emotions to follow, rather than waiting for the feelings to motivate you. Similarly, when it comes to thinking, you should not wait for the desire to think to arise before beginning the process. Engaging in good thinking requires discipline and effort, but once you've begun, you can use your emotions to fuel the process and generate mental momentum. Try it out for yourself. After going through the process of good thinking, take the time to reflect on the success you've achieved and allow yourself to relish in the moment. This can lead to a flow of more ideas and positive thoughts. 6. Repeat the process. Having one good idea does not lead to a fulfilling life. Those who rely solely on a single idea for their entire career often end up unhappy or unsuccessful. They are the one-hit wonders, the one-book authors, the one-topic speakers, and the one-time inventors who spend their lives trying to protect or promote their one idea. Success comes to those who have an entire mountain of gold that they continually mine, not those who find one nugget and try to live on it for 50 years. To become someone who can mine a lot of gold, you need to keep repeating the process of good thinking. Putting yourself in the right place to think means creating an environment or setting that is conducive to thinking deeply and creatively. But what do you do to come up with specific ideas on a day-to-day basis? I want to teach you the process that I've used to discover and develop good thoughts. It's certainly not the only one that works, but it has worked well for me. 1. Find a place to think your thoughts. If you set aside a specific place to focus on generating good thoughts, you will eventually come up with some. Everyone's thinking process and preferences are different. Some people find inspiration in the shower, while others, like my friend Dick Biggs, may prefer a park. Personally, I find the best places to think are in my car, on airplanes, and at the spa. However, I also find that ideas come to me in other places, such as while I am in bed. I keep a writing pad with a light next to my nightstand to capture these thoughts. I think I am able to consistently generate ideas because I make it a habit to regularly visit my designated thinking places. If you want to do the same, find a place that suits you and make it a habit to go there frequently. Capture your thoughts on paper so that you don't lose them. When I found a place to think, my thoughts found a place within me. 2. Find a place to shape your thoughts. Ideas rarely come fully developed and ready to use. Usually, they require further development and refinement. As my friend Dan Ryland likes to say, they must stand the test of clarity and questioning. During the development process, it is important to subject your ideas to critical examination. Many times, an idea that seemed great at night may seem less so in the morning. Be inquisitive about your ideas. Refine them. One of the best ways to do this is to put your thoughts into writing. As S.I. Hayakawa, a professor, college president, and U.S. senator once said, "Learning to write is learning to think." You don't know anything clearly unless you can state it in writing. As you refine your thoughts, you will be able to determine whether an idea has potential. You will learn what you have, and you will also learn something about yourself. The shaping time thrills me because it embodies humor. The thoughts that don't work often provide comic relief. Humility, the moments when I connect with God all me. Excitement, I love to play out an idea mentally. I call it futuring it. Creativity, in these moments I am unhampered by reality. Fulfillment, God made me for this process. It uses my greatest gifts and gives me joy. Honesty, as I turn over an idea in my mind, I discover my true motives. Passion, when you shape a thought, you find out what you believe and what really counts. Change, most of the changes I have made in my life resulted from thorough thinking on a subject. Finding a suitable location to develop and refine your thoughts is crucial. Pick a spot that caters to your needs, where you can easily jot down ideas, focus your attention without interruptions, and question your thoughts. 3. Find a place to stretch your thoughts. Great thoughts are not just worth keeping to yourself, they are meant to be shared and expanded upon. By only focusing on the mental shaping of an idea, you risk missing valuable opportunities to bring others on board and to develop the idea to its fullest potential. In the past, I have been guilty of this mistake. I was often eager to take an idea from a seed thought to a solution before sharing it with anyone, including those who would be most impacted by it. This happened both in my professional and personal life. But over time, I have realized that working with a team allows you to achieve much more than working alone. I've found a kind of formula that can help you stretch your thoughts. It says the right thought plus the right people in the right environment at the right time for the right reason equals the right result. This combination is hard to beat. Like every person, every thought has the potential to become something great. When you find a place to stretch your thoughts, you find that potential. Find a place to land your thoughts. Author Charles Douglas Jackson observes that great ideas need landing gear as well as wings. Any idea that remains only an idea doesn't make a great impact. The real power of an idea comes when it goes from abstraction to application. Think about Einstein's theory of relativity. When he published his theories in 1905 and 1916, they were merely profound ideas. Their real power came with the development of the nuclear reactor in 1942 and the nuclear bomb in 1945. When scientists developed and implemented Einstein's ideas, the whole world changed. Likewise, if you want your thoughts to make an impact, you need to land them with others so that they can someday be implemented. As you plan for the application phase of the thinking process, land your ideas first with yourself. Landing an idea with yourself will give you integrity. People will buy into an idea only after they buy into the leader who communicates it. Before teaching any lesson, I ask myself 3 questions. Do I believe it? Do I live it? Do I believe others should live it? If I can't answer yes to all 3 questions, then I haven't landed it. Key players, let's face it, no idea will fly if the influencers don't embrace it. After all, they are the people who carry thoughts from idea to implementation. Those most affected, landing thoughts with the people on the firing line, will give you great insight. Those closest to changes that occur as a result of a new idea can give you a reality read. And that's important because sometimes even when you've diligently completed the process of creating a thought, shaping it, and stretching it with other good thinkers, you can still miss the mark. 5. Find a place to fly your thoughts. French philosopher Henry Louis Bergson, who won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1927, asserted that a person should think like a man of action, act like a man of thought. What good is thinking if it has no application in real life? Thinking divorced from actions cannot be productive. Developing the skill of effective thinking leads to productive outcomes. If you can make good thinking a consistent habit throughout your life, it will lead to long-term success and productivity. When you have a firm grasp on the process of creating, refining, expanding, and finalizing your ideas, it becomes enjoyable and effortless to execute them. Portrait of a good thinker. You often hear someone say that a colleague or friend is a good thinker, but that phrase means something different to everyone. To one person it may mean having a high IQ, while to another it could mean knowing a bunch of trivia or being able to figure out whodunit when reading a mystery novel. I believe that good thinking isn't just one thing. It consists of several specific thinking skills. Becoming a good thinker means developing those skills to the best of your ability. Your background or current situation does not define your ability to think well. Whether you were born into wealth or poverty, have a low or advanced education, or have physical limitations or good health, anyone can learn to be a good thinker. The key is to consistently engage in the process on a daily basis. In the book Built to Last by Jim Collins and Jerry Porras, they discuss what it takes to be a visionary company, a company that represents the best of American business. They describe those companies this way: a visionary company is like a great work of art. Consider the scenes from Genesis on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel painted by Michelangelo, his statue of David, a timeless novel like Huckleberry Finn, or Crime and Punishment, Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, Shakespeare's Henry V, a magnificently designed structure such as Frank Lloyd Wright's, or Ludwig Mies van der Rohe's buildings. It's not one single element that makes them great, rather it's the combination of all the parts working together that leads to enduring greatness. Good thinking is similar. You need all the thinking pieces to become the kind of person who can achieve great things. Those pieces include the following 11 skills: seeing the wisdom of big picture thinking, unleashing the potential of focused thinking, discovering the joy of creative thinking, recognizing the importance of realistic thinking, releasing the power of strategic thinking, feeling the energy of possibility thinking, embracing the lessons of reflective thinking, questioning the acceptance of popular thinking, encouraging the participation of shared thinking, experiencing the satisfaction of unselfish thinking, enjoying the return of bottom-line thinking. As you read the chapters dedicated to each kind of thinking, you will discover that they do not try to tell you what to think. They attempt to teach you how to think. As you become acquainted with each skill, you will find that some you do well, others you don't. Learn to develop each of those kinds of thinking, and you will become a better thinker. Master all that you can, including the process of shared thinking, which helps you compensate for your weak areas, and your life will change. We will complete the explanation of the chapters in the next video. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will become rich one day. And I promise to help you and give you everything you need to be able to walk the path of wealth. But be prepared.